great to see so many of you this evening. We have a lot to celebrate tonight. And of course, we have the opportunity to celebrate Shabbat. And so it's my honor now to call upon Kenner Goldman to begin our service. Hine Matov. Now it's my honor to call upon Liam's proud mother, our bar mitzvah's mother, and grandmothers, and any other female relatives that'd like to come up to help us with the candles for Shabbat. Please rise. And you may be seated. And I invite you now to open up your prayer book, and we turn to page 5 as Kenner Goldman leads us in Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom
page 14, Yismechu Hashamayim V'Tagel Haaretz. Come, my beloved, now let us welcome the bride. Let us greet Shabbat as she arrives. L'chadodi likrat kala, page 23. Now, please take a moment and wish good Shabbos to anyone around you, especially someone you've never met before. And now I want to invite all those in mourning to remain standing for the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, which is found in our prayer books on page 30. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbi v'alma divrach yirutei v'amlik malchutei v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayed dekol beit Yisrael ba'agalav izman kari v'yemru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach leolam omei amaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudusha brichu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiram b'alma v'yemru amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yemru amen. Osei shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'yakol Yisrael v'yemru amen. And now ask everyone to please rise for the Baruch Hu, page 39.
Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated. And we'll continue on page 40 with Ahavat Olam. Page 41.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'afta et Adonai Elohecha בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We continue in Hebrew or English to the bottom of page 42.
Adonai Elohechem emet.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, who is like you, God amongst the mighty, the song our ancestors sang when they crossed the Red Sea, page 44.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedor b'kodesh, no ra, no ra, no ra tehilot, oh say fele. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedor b'kodesh, no ra, no ra, no ra tehilot, oh say fele. Malchutcha
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom. Help us, Adonai, to lie down peacefully tonight and awaken us tomorrow to life renewed. Page 45.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, v'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. סוכת שלומך, ברוך אתה אדוני, הפורש סוכת שלום עלינו, ועל כל עמו ישראל, ועל ירושלים.
We turn now to the top of page 46. The people of Israel shall observe Shabbat, maintaining it as an everlasting covenant throughout all generations. V'shamru v'nei Yisrael.
ושומרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושומרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. בנובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושומרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ונפש, שבת ונפש, שבת ונפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
Please rise, the middle of page 46.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, בעלמא תברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון וחי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן, אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם עולמי עלמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקודשה לעילם מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תשבחתה ונחמתה דאמירם בעלמא ואמרו אמן, ואמרו אמן, ואמרו אמן, ואמרו אמן, amen.
And now let's continue silently with our silent prayers, page 47 through page 52. as we do every time we end at Amidah, we end with a prayer of shalom, a prayer of peace. Ose shalom bimromav. And now's our opportunity to offer a prayer of healing. For those we know who are sick at this time, we think of those injured in Israel, the hostages being held, all those who need a refuah shlema, a complete healing at this time, as the cantor leads us in a Misha Barak prayer. And now we continue on page 54 with the Kaddish Shalem. You may be seated.
Yitgadal v'kadashem me rabba Be'alma divrach irute Ve'amlich malchute B'chayechon v'yomechon u'chayedecho be'Yisrael B'galav izman kari ve'imeru amen Yehesh me rabba mevorach le'al ba viet pa'ar viet truma viet nase. Vita dar viet hale viet halal. Shemeda kuda shabri Le Eila min kol birchata v'shirata. Tishbechata v'nechemata. Ta'amiram be'alma v'imeru. Amen. Titka bald sled hon uvet hon de chol Yisrael. Ka'adam avu hon de vishmaya. V'imeru. Amen. Yehesh shlama rabba mim shamaya. V'hayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imeru. Amen. Oh, say shalom b'im romav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'imeru. Amen.
Good Shabbos, everyone. So as we know, lately, the last 10 months, the news from Israel has not been so good. War continues in Gaza against terrorists, and war could happen against terrorists in Lebanon and against Iran, a terrorist state. So tonight, I want to share something with you that you may find uplifting, because we all know we need some uplifting news right now. This summer, when I had the honor to go to Israel, I just assumed before I went that all Israelis would be full of hate and rage against all Palestinians. It would be understandable if they did. And of course, some did feel this way. But I have to tell you, many Israelis did not. Most Israelis I met understood that it was a lot more complicated than to say that all Palestinians are evil, that we're against all of them. It wasn't so simple. Now, yes, my friends, there are too many terrorists, too much agreement and acceptance of terrorism in Gaza and the West Bank. And I do believe Palestinian culture is in need of a rebirth based on tolerance, peace, and the broad acceptance of a permanent Jewish state in the Middle East. A new Palestinian education system is in order, and one that teaches children from a young age to accept our Jewish historical claims to the land of Israel. And I believe until that happens, there is no chance for peace. Yet, to say that all Palestinians are against us and against Israel is incorrect, and only lets the terrorists and extremists win by creating an atmosphere of violence and hate. As Martin Luther King once taught, hate is too great a burden to bear. There are some examples of Palestinians trying to bring peace, also wanting what a majority of Israelis still want, a two-step solution, two states living side by side in peace. Tonight, I want to share one example of this idea that I recently learned about a Palestinian man who risked everything to speak out against the terrorists. A young Palestinian man from a small village in the West Bank who recently met with writer Barry Weiss. His name was withheld for his safety. Now, most of the kids who grew up with him dropped out of school and went into manual labor. But this young Palestinian man chose a very different path. And that path began from reading a life-changing book. When he was a teenager, his father came home one day from working in Israel and brought home the book to him, a book entitled Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It's actually one of my favorite books of all time, one that I often recommend, because it's also a book that changed my life for the better. Viktor Frankl, for those of you who don't know, was a well-respected Austrian psychiatrist who survived 4 concentration camps. How did that Austrian psychiatrist, Viktor Frankl, survive? He says he survived because he recognized that in those concentration camps, he could not change his physical circumstances. Rather, only his inner strength would liberate him from the torment of his daily existence. Even in the darkest and cruelest of all places, Frankl understood that he could still use his psychiatric skills to help others. In the midst of hell of the concentration camps, he dedicated himself to counseling. And Frankl's counseling often worked by giving hundreds of others in the camps the will to live. And he learned that everything can be taken away from you except your attitude and except your reaction to any given situation, whether it's good or bad. So after reading that book, for this young Palestinian, the book first changed his whole perspective of the Jewish people. He had a much better and fresher look at what it means to be Jewish and Israeli. And secondly, the book became his guiding light to navigate his future. He realized that no matter his circumstances, he believed he still had the power to make a better life for himself. So it pushed him to study more, to work harder, until he earned a scholarship to go abroad. He ended up earning 3 degrees in 3 different countries, including his MBA at Tel Aviv University. To help pay for his MBA, famous Israeli folk singer David Broza paid for a significant amount of his tuition. They're friends to this day. And then after graduating with 3 degrees, he was accepted into an Israeli program that helps Palestinian students find internships in Israeli high-tech companies. Working and living in Tel Aviv, he met all types of Israeli Jews, Ashkenazi, Mizrahi, Sephardi, and he would join them for Shabbat dinners and Hanukkah parties. On Yom Kippur, he would participate in the secular Israeli pastime, not going to services, but riding his bike on the deserted highways of Tel Aviv. Don't try that here in Houston. At one point, this young Palestinian even roomed in Tel Aviv with an Israeli soldier. And yes, from time to time, they had their disagreements, but they always remained friends, both holding on to the belief that holding different views does not mean you can't be friends with someone. Through his work, he enjoyed meeting many Israelis who had never met a Palestinian before. With his computer bag, he was crossing borders every day and breaking barriers, filled with pride that he was making a difference. But then his life was changed by a social media post. On October 7th, like many of us, he woke up in his home in the West Bank to the news of the massacre happening inside Israel. While some people in his community celebrated, he was horrified. He posted online how he felt. Quote, "What a sad and horrible news to wake up to. I'm Palestinian and firmly stand against this terror. I pray for the safety of my Israeli friends, colleagues, their loved ones, and everyone else affected." He continued to post about how he felt, 6 posts in total. As thousands of his fellow Palestinians celebrated, he could not comprehend how anyone could cheer for or justify what happened on October 7th. At the time, for example, he was starting to date a girl from the West Bank, and she was happy about what had happened. They got into heated arguments, and the relationship soon ended when she blocked him on social media. Suddenly, hundreds of other Palestinians unfollowed or unfriended him. People blocked him on WhatsApp, and in real life, many people stopped speaking to him altogether. And then, people started calling him a traitor. Now, the word traitor, unfortunately, means something in the West Bank and Gaza. If you're labeled a traitor, it means you're in danger. It means you could be killed. And this is what he has been fearing for the last 10 months. Since that day, he hasn't been able to commute to Israel either. To protect Israelis, the work permits for all Palestinians have been suspended. And so now he stays home in hiding with his family. He can't leave the home because he says it's just too dangerous. He feels isolated, unsafe, and scared for himself and for the safety of his family. Yet remarkably, he has no regrets. He still feels that remaining silent in the face of the atrocities would have made him no different from those who committed the crimes. He clearly understood that Hamas was the reason for the horrors of October 7th, and now Hamas is the reason for the destruction on both sides. Rightfully believing that Hamas is the same as Hezbollah, is the same as the Houthis, just proxies of Iran. And none of them really care about the well-being of the Palestinian people. He understood that Hamas's ultimate goal was to incite hatred, create division, make peace impossible. So he felt he had to risk his life to try to make change. And today he is standing by his words, but for his own safety, also working his hardest to secure a high-tech job somewhere in Europe or in America. So if you have a job, let Barry Weiss know, I guess. To end my words tonight, here's a summary of his words. He writes, "Without raising our voices, change cannot happen. People only witness hatred from both sides without seeing someone stand up and call out what's wrong. Today, I have the chance to show a different perspective. I may be just one person, and I'm truly scared, but I must speak out. I hope more of my people realize the truth, take a stand for what's right, and work to unite us instead of deepening the divisions, because that's what the terrorists want. It will take many years to heal from this, but I believe there's still hope. I believe both sides can coexist." And then he concludes, "We cannot let Hamas succeed in destroying this hope. Israelis and Palestinians are both here to stay. And we have to find a way to live together, or the cycle of conflict and suffering will never end. Maybe it's too late for our generation, but we owe it to the next one to build a better future. They deserve peace. It will take time, but I still believe there's hope, and in time, we will see it come to fruition." On this Shabbat, I pray that there may be many, many others like him soon in the West Bank and Gaza who can speak out and not worry for their own safety. So perhaps one day there can be peace, because as Martin Luther King once taught, hate is too great a burden to bear for them and for us as well. Ken Yehi Ratzon. May this be God's will soon. And to this, let us say, Amen. And now, as we've continued to do throughout these 10 months, let us rise in our prayers for Israel, for Hatikva. And now let us remain standing for the Aleinu, page 56.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hako, la tate gedula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigie haratzot, velo samanu kimishbechot hadama, shelo sam helkenu kahem, vego raleinu kechol hamonam. Va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu notei shamayim ve'osed aretz umoshev yekaron bashamayim ima ushchinatu zo Ushchinatu zo begov he meromim Hu Eloheinu einod emet malkeinu efezulato kakatu betorato vedatayom vehashevota elevavecha Ki Adonai hu ha-Elohim Bashamayim imal Ve'al haaretz mitachat ein od Ve'ne'emar Ve'haya Adonai Lemelech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad.
Now I want to invite all those in mourning to remain standing for the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. And this week at Beth Yeshurun, we offer condolences to the families of Brandon Reisman, Beverly Kronthal, Shirley Brodner, Arthur Gandler, Lillian Gordon, David Musaseda. Page 58. Yitkadal v'yikada shemei Rabbi, v'yama divrach yiruteh v'yamlik makuteh, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayed dekol beit Israel, Ba'agala v'zman kari v'yemru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach leolam omeamaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei dekudusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiram v'yalma v'yemru amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya, V'chayim Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. Osei Shalom B'mromav, Hu Yaseh Shalom, Aleinu V'yakol Yisrael V'yimru Amen. So tonight, I think we may have a record. We have 13 anniversaries to celebrate. So a lot to celebrate tonight. And some very special ones as well. First, celebrating their 33rd anniversary, Susan and Isaac Johari. Mazel tov. This past year, your daughter had a son, and your other granddaughter turned 2 years, your other grandchild turned 2 years old. Continued blessings, Susan and Isaac. It's great to see you guys. May your 3 children and now 2 grandchildren continue to bring you only blessings. Mazel tov. Celebrating their 37th anniversary, Lisa and Matthew Kornhauser. This past year, there were 3 very special events that took place. You took a big family vacation to Spain. Your daughter-in-law graduated from law school. And in memory of your father, our day school, as many of you know, this past Sunday was appropriately renamed the Jack Siegel Academy at Beth Yeshurun. Only continued simchas for you and your entire family. Happy 37th anniversary. Mazel tov. Celebrating 4 decades of marriage, their 40th wedding anniversary, Laura and Joe Freudenberger. Mazel tov. Laura and Joe, it's good to see you at a good occasion. And this past year was a lot of joy. Your first grandbaby was born in September. You took a bucket list trip to Australia to scuba dive, the Great Barrier Reef. Your youngest child completed his ER residency. He got married and took a position in Houston just last month. So now all 3 of your children are living here in Houston. And may they continue to bring you only blessings. I pray for only good health and happiness for many more years to come. Happy 40th anniversary. Mazel tov. Celebrating their 43rd year of marriage, Lori and Benny Herzog. As you know, we're very blessed to have Lori as our extraordinary congregational president. And Lori, this year you and Benny have been blessed with your 4th grandchild, which gives you 2 grandsons and 2 granddaughters. And you're lucky to vacation with them in Galveston and in the cool, beautiful mountains of Colorado with your whole family this month. Continued blessings. It's wonderful to have some of your family here, and may they bring you only good times and Simchas for many years to come. Happy 43rd anniversary. Mazel tov. Celebrating their 46th wedding anniversary, Linda and Gordon Franklin. Mazel tov. This past year, you got to take your grandchildren, Asher and Lainey, on a Disney cruise, and you truly enjoyed that time, spending them over the New Year's holiday. And you also had a 3-week visit from your daughter, Lauren, who lives very far away. You hadn't seen her in a while. It was great to see Lauren, and of course, Mark and his family here last weekend. And may they and all of them continue to bring you only nachas and only good times as you celebrate 46 years of marriage. Mazel tov. Celebrating their 52nd anniversary, Janet and Tom McCulloch. Mazel tov. So Janet and Tom, over this past year, both of you are working less and spending more time with your 4 grandchildren who live close by. And you also enjoyed traveling to London, and you had your kids and grandkids with you for part of the trip, and you got to do a cruise down the Danube. And the most important thing, everyone is blessed with good health. Amen to that, and for many more years to come. Happy 52nd anniversary. Mazel tov. Celebrating 53 years of marriage, Diane and Alan Levin. Mazel tov. As we know, Alan's our wonderful head gabbai, and was great this past June. Your granddaughter became a bat mitzvah here, and this was special. She was your first grandchild to become a b'nai mitzvah here at Beth Yeshurun, and you have 2 more coming up very soon. We all look forward to that and to more simchas and more celebrations. Happy 53rd anniversary. Mazel tov. Celebrating their 58th year of marriage, Elaine and Melvin Capel. Mazel tov. This year, you got to take a wonderful cruise around the British Isles, and you're also proud of your granddaughters. Haley is an RN at Cook Children's Hospital in Fort Worth, and Hannah is in a program to become a nurse practitioner. And of course, your son continues to be an extraordinary cantor at a conservative synagogue in the Washington, D.C. area. Happy anniversary, 58 years, and many more good anniversaries to come. Mazel tov. Now, for the next 3, they're all celebrating 60th anniversaries, and they all look wonderful, and thank God they're all with us this evening, and all of them with their many members of their extended family, too. So it's great to see all of them here. First celebrating we'll go in alphabetical order. First celebrating their 60th anniversary, Esther and Woody Fox. Mazel tov. So Esther and Woody, you feel very fortunate to have all your family here celebrating such a big occasion. And highlights from this past year include attending Morgan's graduation from Pace University, visiting Ryan and Clay in Chicago, and seeing Tyler in Dallas for the total solar eclipse. A much better place to see that than here. And this year was truly capped off by your first grandchild's engagement to Christian Perkins, who's here this evening. Mazel tov to the 2 of you. And you have a lot to celebrate, and it's great to have you guys here. Many, many more good events, many more anniversaries on Friday nights. Only good health, happiness, and peace. Happy 60th anniversary. Mazel tov. Now, also celebrating their 60th anniversary, Ellen and Butch Rosenberg. Mazel tov. Now, you got to experience your third grandchild graduating from UT, and two complete their freshman years, one at Savannah College of Art and Design and one at the University of Texas. And so it's great to see many of them here this evening, and you have a lot to celebrate, only continued happiness and good health as you celebrate 60 years of marriage. Mazel tov. And celebrating 60 years of marriage, Brenda and Ed Yosowitz. Brenda and Eddie, you two also look wonderful. It's so good to have you here with so many of your family members. And I know you got to travel a lot. You guys tell me you get to see your grandchildren a lot, whether they're here or in Dallas or throughout the country. But this past year, you told me the number one thing is your granddaughter, Jamie, got engaged and will be married just over a year from now, November of 2025. I know you look forward to that, as all your family does, and we do as well. And may they continue to bring you only happiness, peace, and good health. Mazel tov to the two of you. Now we have two very special anniversaries. I'm going to invite two couples to the Bima, celebrating their 25th anniversary, Micah and Jean Kessler, and their 50th anniversary, April and Al Hiller. So Mike and Jean, 25 years ago, you were married at the Estonian by Rabbi Joseph Radinsky, Zichrono Livracha, and you just finished your first year as empty nesters, and you're beginning your second one with 3 children in college. Carolyn's at UT, beginning her senior year, Ruben's beginning his sophomore year at University of Tulsa, and Dylan's beginning his sophomore year at Duke University. And this past year, you had great trips to California, Canada, and Pittsburgh. Is that what that says? All right. All right. You have family there. And Jean, you're starting your 18th year teaching in our Jack Siegel Academy. And Micah, you're our current president-elect. That's a blessing. That's a good thing. And you told me the secret to long-term success in marriage is supporting one another, communicating openly, and appreciating all that you have together. And of course, Micah not making Jean ever attend, or even watch Texan games with you. May God continue to bless the two of you with only peace, happiness, and many more years of marriage. Happy 25th anniversary. Mazel tov. And April and Al, it's great to see you guys as well for a very special 50th anniversary. You're married here at Beth Yeshurun in the Greenfield Chapel by Rabbi Jack Siegel, Zichrono Livracha. And since that time, you've had many blessings, including 4 children. Aaron, who's married to Nell, David married to Lauren now, Zachary married to Donna, and Rachel married to Brandon, as we got to celebrate just a few years ago. And they've given you 6 beautiful grandchildren: Joey, Danny, Alex, Lila, Noam, and Jacob. In this past year, you got to take a family cruise together, as well as cross-country road trips to see your East Coast children. You partook in the ultimate grandparents trip this spring. You saw one grandchild's middle school play in Washington, D.C. on a Friday, and by that Sunday, you were in San Diego for another granddaughter's community play. Pretty impressive. And most importantly, you welcomed the birth of your 6th grandchild, Jacob, in New Jersey, and in a few weeks, you'll celebrate the bar mitzvah of your oldest grandson, Joey, back in D.C. What's the secret to long-term success in a marriage? You told me it's continuing to be each other's best friend. I know you are, and you've blessed many of us and your family. 50 years of marriage. Mazel tov. And for both our couples, may God continue to bless and keep you, show you only favor and be gracious to you, and may God only show you kindness and always give you shalom, peace, and let us say amen. And we have a lot to celebrate tonight, their anniversaries, so I'm going to ask the cantor to lead us in Siman Tov U'Mazel Tov.
Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Eilanu, eilanu, eilanu,
So just a few quick announcements. You have your handout. There's many exciting things coming up, including a sister at Hollybake this upcoming Thursday. And the high holiday tickets are coming soon. So make sure your membership is in order. And you can already go to our website for all the high holiday information that you may be looking for. I also want to welcome Linda Brandt. Linda, it's good to see you. It's been many months since we've had you sitting there. May you continue to have a speedy and good recovery. Refuah Shlema. And finally, most importantly, I want to wish Mazel Tov to our bar mitzvah, to Liam. Beautiful job tonight. It's great to have your family here. Of course, here from Houston, your proud parents and grandparents here, and family from New Orleans and other places, and some of your camp friends from Camp Jacobs, and many people that are here to celebrate your bar mitzvah. And we look forward tomorrow as you officially become a bar mitzvah. And to end our service, I want to invite all of Liam's friends and cousins, his siblings, all his classmates, all of our pre-B'nai Mitzvah students to come up to the bima. And let me bless our children as they come up. For our sons, we say, Yesimcha Elohim ke'Ephraim ve'ke'Menashe. May God bless our sons like Ephraim and Menashe. And for our daughters, we say, Yesimech Elohim ke'Sarah, Rivka, Rachel, ve'Leah. May God bless our daughters like Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah. And always bless our children with peace. And let us say, Amen. And now let's rise for the Kiddush and Hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pari hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kadsho be'ahava uvratzon hinhilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehillah lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta v'tanu kidashta mikol chamim v'shabbat kadshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha-Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam